While Yellowstone is America's first national park, offering a diverse range of outdoor experiences, it also contains half of all known geothermal features on the planet. And scarily enough, it sits on top of one of the world's largest and most active supervolcanoes. In any case, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk just announced that the Yellowstone volcano appears to be pulsating, with a 100-foot wide fissure on its surface. What does the recent fissure crack imply? How destructive could its eruption be? Located in the northwest corner of Wyoming is Yellowstone National Park, which is the United States of America's first national park. The park covers an area of 8,900 square kilometers and is home to waterfalls, geysers, beautiful lakes, rivers, towering canyons, and mountain ranges. Yellowstone Lake is North America's largest high-elevation lake, and the park contains the Earth's largest surviving, nearly intact ecosystem in the northern temperate zone. From hundreds of different species of animals, including endangered and threatened ones, to vast forests and grasslands that include unique species of plants, the park is blessed. Not to mention the numerous recreational opportunities available, such as hiking, camping, boating, fishing, and sightseeing. It comes as no surprise that it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1978. In any case, the area is also home to Yellowstone caldera, a volcanic caldera sometimes called the Yellowstone supervolcano. A caldera is what you might call a dormant volcano, as it has erupted with tremendous force several times in the last 2 million years. It is simply a massive hollow-like shape that forms shortly after a magma chamber is emptied during a volcanic eruption. By the way, Yellowstone contains more than half of the world's geysers and hydrothermal features, and they are fueled by the active volcanism in the area. In any case, Yellowstone is one of the most seismically active areas in the United States, with nearly 2,500 earthquakes recorded in the Yellowstone region in 2022, more than 500 of which occurred in September alone. And this activity is caused by a vast network of fault lines underneath the national park, which is linked to a dormant underground giant, the Yellowstone supervolcano. A supervolcano is a volcano that has had an eruption with a volcanic explosivity index (VEI) of 8, the highest recorded value on the index, and is capable of discharging volcanic material for more than 240 cubic miles. A supervolcano is easily identifiable by the fact that when the magma in the mantle rises into the crust but is unable to penetrate it. Nonetheless, the exact number of supervolcanoes that have existed on our planet is unknown, but we've had some terrifying ones over the years that aren't even close to being supervolcanoes. After all, the largest supervolcanic eruption in the past 28 million years occurred on the Indonesian island of Sumatra about 7,500 years ago. And yet, humans experienced Mount Vesuvius's eruption in 79 AD, which is regarded as one of the deadliest in European history. Interestingly, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which buried several Roman settlements, had only a volcanic explosivity index of 5. Another famous volcanic eruption was that of Mount Tambora in 1815, which is recorded as the largest eruption in historical times and the largest of the Holocene. The magnitude of this eruption on the VEI scale was 7, and it reached an elevation of more than 14,100 feet high, making it one of the tallest peaks in the Indonesian archipelago. Tsunamis, caldera collapse, pyroclastic flows, central vents, and explosive eruptions followed Mount Tambora's volcanic eruption, which killed over 71,000 people. The eruption was heard 1,600 miles away, ash deposits were discovered at least 810 miles away, and total darkness was observed for up to 2 days as far as 370 miles from the mountain's summit. With over 10 to 120 million tons of sulfur released into the stratosphere, this particular eruption caused a global climate aberration. In addition to that, the eruption of Mount Tambora reduced the global temperature by 0.4 to 0.7 degrees Celsius and affected the northern hemisphere, causing severe weather conditions, so much so that the year 1816 became known as the year without a summer. The severity of the 1816-19 typhus epidemic in the southeast of Europe and the eastern Mediterranean, as well as famine crises in many European countries, are attributed to the eruption's climate abnormality. In any case, the Mount Tambora eruption was never a supervolcano, and Elon Musk recently announced that we might have one sometime soon. According to the SpaceX CEO, a 100-foot wide fissure crack has opened up in the Yellowstone Volcano's caldera. Musk's satellite imagery detected the fissure crack, which was confirmed by ground observations by the tech billionaire. The fissure crack, according to Musk, is approximately 24 miles long and extends from the northeast to the southwest of the dome. Aside from that, he believes the fissure crack is a sign of increased volcanic activity and the deformation in the Yellowstone region, which has been undergoing cycles of uplift and subsidence for millions of years. It's estimated that volcanic activity in the Yellowstone National Park region began around 2 million years ago, with molten magma rising from deep within the earth, causing 3 cataclysmic eruptions in the area that were more powerful than any in recorded history. The first caldera-forming eruption occurred approximately 2.1 million years ago, and it was so large that it left a massive depression in the ground. It followed the Island Park caldera, which produced the Huckleberry Ridge Tuff, leaving a hole larger than the state of Rhode Island, and it produced 17 times as much ash as the Mount Tambora eruption. The next largest eruption formed the Yellowstone caldera approximately 640,000 years ago, producing the Lava Creek Tuff and producing more than 6 times the amount of ash as the Mount Tambora eruption. The third largest eruption, however, occurred 1.3 million years ago and formed the smaller Mesa Falls Tuff, which is the only caldera visible today from the Snake River Plain Yellowstone hotspot. In any case, since Yellowstone's last major eruption 640,000 years ago, smaller lava flows and hydrothermal explosions have occurred within and near the caldera, but no magnetic eruptions have occurred. At least we can't be too sure given the last discovery by Elon Musk. Surprisingly, this isn't the first time an alarm has been raised about the possibility of a supervolcano erupting in the area. Back in 2018, scientists discovered that a supervolcano was pulsing in the area and that it would erupt in the near future. And they made this assertion despite there being no active volcanoes in the region. The upwelling we detected is like a hot air balloon, and we infer that something is rising up through the deeper part of our planet under New England. Our study challenges the established notion of how the continents on which we live behave. It challenges the textbook's concepts taught in introductory geology classes. Rutgers University geophysicist Professor Vadim Levin said. Nonetheless, Musk's discovery of a massive 100-foot fissure in Grand Teton National Park near Yellowstone Volcano appears to have sparked panic in the area. Because not only do geologists not know how the massive crack formed, but also because despite the location of the crack being 60 miles from Yellowstone National Park, Grand Teton actually sits above the Yellowstone supervolcano. And if the fissure was caused by seismic activity beneath Yellowstone, it could be a sign that the dormant volcano is coming back to life and is currently recharging while its magma chambers fill with molten rock from the Earth's mantle. And sadly, this would be very devastating for the entire United States of America, as an estimated 87,000 people would be killed immediately and 2/3 of the USA would be destroyed. It's estimated that the eruption could be about 40 times as powerful as the one from Mount Tambora in 1815. After all, should Yellowstone erupt at this very moment, it has the potential to eject 240 cubic miles of magma. That will send the entire planet into a decade-long volcanic winter, raining pyroclastic debris in several states, creating a crater several states wide, and spreading ash for hundreds of miles. In any case, Elon is currently closely monitoring the area to see if any other changes are occurring, and if the 100-foot wide fissure crack is a sign of a supervolcano about to erupt. But a series of earthquake data obtained from the area appears to have everyone in a frenzy. Based on an analysis of earthquake data, Musk discovered that the Yellowstone caldera, the magma chamber, is 50 miles long and 12 miles wide, and has 960 cubic miles of underground volume, which is 6.8% filled with molten rock. The discovery is frightening because it demonstrates that the size of the magma chamber has now been proven to be approximately 2.5 times larger than scientists had previously imagined. When researchers from Arizona State University discovered that molten magma surged into the magma chamber in 2 large influxes during Yellowstone's last super eruption, they added weight to Musk's claims that the area is dangerous. The analysis of crystals from Yellowstone lava revealed that prior to the last super eruption, the magma chamber experienced a rapid increase in temperature and a change in composition. As a result, Yellowstone's magma reservoir could reach eruptive capacity and trigger a super eruption within decades, rather than centuries as volcanologists had previously predicted. That is, with this large crack in the area, we could have one anytime in the foreseeable future. And it appears that the National Park Service, NPS, is already preparing for any eventuality because after the 100-foot wide fissure crack was discovered, they warned tourists and people in the area to avoid straying into restricted or dangerous areas. They openly declare that given the park's unpredictability and potentially hazardous nature, visitors should be prepared for emergencies and have an evacuation plan in place. According to NPS, their concern at the moment is that the cracks will expand and cause rocks to fall in areas where people would normally visit. Nevertheless, tech guru Elon Musk appears to have some reassuring news about the massive crack that will put people at ease. According to the Twitter CEO, despite the area's hazardous nature, fissures in the area are not unusual. He claims that historically, volcanic and tectonic activity in the region cause 1,000 to 2,000 measurable earthquakes per year, and that the majority of these earthquakes are minor with magnitudes of 3 or less. In 1985, more than 3,000 earthquakes were monitored for several months, and between December 2008 to January 2009, more than 500 earthquakes were observed under the northwest end of Yellowstone Lake over 7 days, with the largest registering a magnitude of 3.9. In addition, between January 17, 2010 and February 1, 2010, the area experienced its second largest earthquake swarms, with 1,620 small earthquakes. Earthquake swarms are sequences of seismic events that occur in a local area over a short period of time. And on the 30th of March 2014, Yellowstone experienced its largest recorded earthquake since February 1980, when a magnitude 4.8 earthquake struck the area, and as such, cracks are no doubt a possibility in the area. Moreover, in light of Earth's changing natural disasters, Musk created a statistical model that examines the likelihood of a supervolcano occurring this year or next, and he discovered that the probability is 1 in 730,000, or 0.00014%. However, it is important to note that the risk of a supervolcano was more likely than a large-scale comet or asteroid impact, and as such, Musk cautions that it should never be completely ruled out. And in an effort to stay ahead of the situation, the tech billionaire appears to be collaborating with NASA on geoengineering plans that could prevent an unexpected eruption. It is believed that this geoengineering plan would offer 2 benefits, the first being a potential source of geothermal energy, and the second one being a solution to the risk of a supervolcanic eruption in the near future. And the geoengineering plans revolved around using the heat from the magma to generate geothermal energy by drilling into the hot earth and running water through the holes. The NASA team alongside Musk believe that the most viable solution could be to drill up to 10 kilometers down into the supervolcano and pump water at high pressure. The circulating water would return at a temperature of around 350 degrees Celsius and would slowly extract heat from the volcano. Yellowstone currently leaks around 6 gigawatts in heat. Through drilling in this way, it could be used to create a geothermal plant, which generates electric power at extremely competitive prices of around 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And the long-term benefit is that you prevent a future supervolcano eruption, which would devastate humanity. Brian Wilcox, who served on NASA's Advisory Council on Planetary Defense, said, "In any case, these plans just mean that humans would have to make a conscious effort to delay supervolcanic eruption from happening within a few human lifetimes. But then again, Elon Musk's viable solution is better than nothing, so we may as well take advantage of it."